Chris Henry, born May 17, 1983, and left this world December 17, 2009, was an American football wide receiver who played 5 seasons in the National Football League for the Cincinnati Bengals. He played college at West Virginia and was drafted by the Bengals in the 3rd round of the 2005 NFL Draft. Chris made his NFL debut on September 18, 2005, against the Minnesota Vikings. In his rookie season with the Bengals, he amassed 31 receptions for 422 yards and 6 touchdowns in the Bengals' first playoff game in 15 years against the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had a reception for 66 yards on the Bengals' second play from scrimmage. However, on that play, both he and Bengals quarterback Carson Palmer suffered knee injuries. In his second season, Henry totaled 605 yards on 36 receptions for 9 touchdowns, with an average of 16.8 yards per catch. In the second game of the season against the Cleveland Browns, Henry recorded 5 receptions for 113 yards, while he recorded 2 touchdowns the next week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. In the season finale against the Steelers, Henry totaled 124 yards off of 4 receptions and scored 1 touchdown. Henry was suspended for 8 games in 2007 for violating the NFL's personal conduct policy. He returned in Week 10 against the Baltimore Ravens, where he had 4 receptions for 99 yards. In the following loss to Arizona, Henry totaled 8 receptions for 81 yards and 1 touchdown. Henry finished the season with 21 receptions for 343 yards and 2 touchdowns. Following his arrest in April 2008, Henry was waived by the Bengals. President Mike Brown explained that Henry had forfeited his opportunity to pursue a career with the Bengals, and that his conduct could no longer be tolerated. On April 7, 2008, ESPN radio analyst and former player Michael Irvin said he took a phone call from Henry discussing cleaning up his act, much like Irvin encouraged Adam "Pac-Man" Jones to do. Henry and Jones were teammates at West Virginia, and both served NFL suspensions imposed by Commissioner Roger Goodell during the 2007 NFL season. With Bengals receivers Chad Ochocinco, TJ Houshmandzadeh, and Andrew Caldwell nursing injuries during the 2008 preseason, Henry was re-signed to a 2-year contract by the Bengals on August 18th. The move came less than a month after Bengals head coach Marvin Lewis stated the team had no interest in bringing back Henry. After serving his 4-game suspension to begin the 2008 season, Henry was activated from the exemption list on October 4th. Henry finished the 2008 season with 19 receptions for 220 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was placed on injured reserve in November 2009 after suffering a broken forearm while making a 20-yard reception against the Baltimore Ravens. Let's take a deeper dive into the death of Chris Henry and the first proven case of CTE in the NFL.
Charlotte 911, Bellamy, do you need police, fire, or medic?
I need a police officer on Oak Road. I'm riding behind a yellow truck. It's a F-150. The tag says it's got a black man on it with no shirt on it. And he's got his arm in a cast. He's got some black pants on. He's beating on the back of this truck window, and the truck is driving. I don't know if he's trying to break in it or something. It just looks crazy. It's a girl driving it. And now they're turning, and it's turning onto Oakdale Road.
Off of what street?
Off of Oak Drive, going down Oakdale Road.
I'm on Oakdale Road. I just pulled up and there's a lady trying. There's a man in the road. He looks dead. There's no movement.
Okay, sir, where are you at Oakdale Road? What's your cross street or address of Oakdale? Okay.
I don't know what happened. We just pulled up here.
Are you right by him now?
No, I am in a car maybe 200 feet from him.
Okay, and do you feel comfortable going over to him?
Yeah, there's a crowd of people around him right now.
Okay, can you find out if he's awake? Or
No, he's definitely unconscious. He is not awake.
Okay, how old is he?
He looks like mid-20s.
Okay. I can
Black
give some
male.
instructions so that we can try and help him out, but you have to be right with the patient.
Well, there's somebody checking his pulse and stuff right now.
Okay. Is he breathing?
Henry died on December 17, 2009, when he was dragged from a moving truck that his fiancée was driving after a verbal altercation. An autopsy revealed that Henry had developed chronic traumatic encephalopathy, better known as CTE, during his playing career due to repetitive hits to the head. Because CTE can only be diagnosed in an autopsy, and Henry was still active in the NFL when he died, Henry represented the first case where an active player had died and could be diagnosed with CTE. Henry sustained injuries when he fell out of the back of a moving truck driven by his fiancée Lolini Tonga while they were engaged in a domestic dispute. Tonga has 3 children with Henry. On December 17, 2009, Charlotte's police announced that Henry had died at 6:36 a.m. Eastern Time at Carolina's Medical Center from the injuries sustained in the domestic disputes. 2 days later, on December 19th, police confirmed that Henry died of blunt force trauma to the head. No charges were filed against his fiancée, and police announced that they found no evidence that Tonga drove recklessly or with excessive speed. There was no alcohol in Henry's blood at the time of the incident. To honor Henry, every game of Week 15 from December 17th to December 21st in the NFL that year began with a moment of silence before kickoff. Ray Lewis released a statement, quote, "Our football team, what they're feeling yesterday and this morning. They watched a guy mature as a young man and work through adversity," Lewis said, adding that Henry became a beacon of hope, end quotes. On December 20th, 3 days after Henry's death, the Bengals traveled to Qualcomm Stadium to face the San Diego Chargers. As with all the other Week 15 games, a moment of silence was held before the kickoff. Bengals wide receiver Chad Ochocinco, a close friend of Henry's, openly wept during the silence. Later in the game, on the first touchdown reception, Ochocinco dropped to his knees and paid tribute to Henry in the red zone. In June 2010, the Brain Injury Research Institution of West Virginia University released a report that Henry had developed a brain disease called chronic traumatic encephalopathy during his playing career due to multiple hits to the head. While several former NFL players have been found to have the disease after their deaths, Henry was believed to be the first still active NFL player to have it. The discovery that Henry had CTE has become a serious issue of concern for football and brain safety, especially since Henry was relatively young and had never been diagnosed with a concussion in any of his 5 NFL seasons or during his college career at West Virginia. Concern has been raised whether an accumulation of lesser blows could eventually be enough to cause brain damage. It was also believed that the brain damage Henry suffered may have been a factor in his numerous off-the-field incidents.
What do you think led him to jump?
I think he thought maybe he was gonna land. He was gonna land, right? I wasn't going fast. Maybe he was scared because he saw someone calling the police that was behind us. I have no idea what was going through his mind. But as far as him wanting to end his life, no. He had too much going for him.
After his death, Henry's mother made the decision to donate his organs for transplant. Henry's cornea, lungs, kidney, heart, liver, and pancreas were transplanted, saving the lives of 4 people. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit up that comment section as well. Thanks for watching. Death After Sports. Chris Henry.